you know anybody that does a certain thing? Do you have a mortgage person? Do you know someone who does roofing? Do you know a contractor? And inevitably, the answer is always yes, right? So a big part of being a realtor in the Tampa area isn't just about helping someone buy or sell a house. Sure, that's a big part, but to me, a big part is what other service, what other stuff can I do to be even a greater asset to my clients? And so that's where this series is coming from. We are out right now on our way to have a conversation with Bart Rice of Rice Financial Group. All right, so thanks, Bart, again for being here with me today, talking a little bit about mortgages and things like that. If you would, just talk us a little bit about who is Bart Rice, Rice Financial Group, what you guys sort of specialize in, what you do.
Sure. So Rice Financial Group is my mortgage company, and we've been established since about 2009. I've been brokering loans since 2004. Went out on my own, around 2009, it was time for a change, and it was time to kind of open my own company and play by my own rules, if you will. Basically, we're a mortgage brokerage company. I have a couple brokers that work for me and 4 loan processors, 1 pipeline manager. And together we kind of, service the Tampa Bay Area as well as St. Pete, Dade City. And there's really nothing that we can't do with a loan. Everything we do is on the wholesale side, so we're direct to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. We also do VA, FHA, and USDA as well.
Nice. So with some of those things, you obviously must work with a lot of different buyers, from first-time home buyers to really experienced folks, and maybe they're looking to do other things. Are there any kind of cool or different programs that are kind of coming out there, or things that you're seeing in the industry?
So they are kind of getting into some more of the subprime stuff that we saw a lot of back in 2004. The bank statement programs where you can basically get a loan for a self-employed borrower that doesn't necessarily show all of the income that they need to qualify on their tax returns. So they can just show the deposits in their bank statements and qualify that way. So there's stuff like that. 5% down programs, 3% down programs, 100% for VA and USDA. So I think if you have some decent credit and you can verify some income and you can afford a home, you can qualify pretty easily.
So Bart, one of the things that I know I run into with a lot of my clients is they want to know what are the advantages of working with a mortgage broker or wholesaler as opposed to going straight to their own financial institution or bank, whatever they deal with. Can you kind of answer that for us?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is we're not, straight out of the box. We're available on the evenings. We're available on the weekends. As you know, it's, a very competitive market. If somebody needs an answer, they need it right away. They need it on the weekends. They need it on the evenings. We can't be a 9 to 5 typical retail bank. The other thing is we're wholesale, so we get cheaper rates. It's cheaper for us. We don't have the overhead that the bank has, if you will. So we can typically negotiate a lower interest rate and offer something if we need to be more competitive. We can go out and just seek out basically the cheapest available product that's out there. And we get paid by the banks. It doesn't cost you any money as a consumer to use us, so it's a win-win. So the bank's paying us to bring the qualified borrower in because they're going to make money on interest over the next 30 years. So they're happy to pinch us off a little bit to bring in that qualified borrower. So essentially, we're a headhunter for the bank to go out and find the qualified borrowers. If you're the borrower, you're getting somebody at your service to help represent you and find the cheapest rates and answer all your questions and guide you through the process. So it's a win for everybody. And then the realtor gets to work with a broker that they know is going to get the job done and they can call on if they have questions. So it really is a better process to work with a broker versus a retail banker.
Sure, that makes a ton of sense. And I would think that it also gives you probably a little bit more versatility to be able to offer, say, different products that maybe one individual bank or one individual financial institution is not doing.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not, opened up to a lot more guidelines for sure.
So, Bart, obviously you guys do a lot of loans for a lot of different kind of people. But can you tell us a little bit about sort of what the mortgage process looks like, the documents that are needed, just sort of what that whole thing looks like, and ultimately what's going to make it a smoother and easier process to get through underwriting and to get that clear to close?
Yeah, so I mean, as a realtor, when you're going to take a borrower out shopping for a home, obviously the first thing you want is what? Pre-qual letter, right? So what we'll do is we have a borrower do a loan application with us either online or on the website. From there, we review it. We will pull credit and start collecting the supporting documents. Supporting documents would be like tax returns, pay stubs, ID, bank statements, that sort of thing, to basically verify everything that's on the loan application. So once we have that, they're pre-qualified. Then it's time to go and find a house. Once you get a house under contract, then we submit the loan into underwriting where everybody can see, verify it again and make sure they're good to go. Typically takes about 30 days from start to finish after you're under contract, with ordering title, appraisal, insurance, and everything like that. So it's a pretty simple process, I think.
Gotcha, that's perfect. What about someone who is, say, self-employed or, is not necessarily a normal sort of standard W-2 type person, but maybe a 1099 person or that sort of thing?
So it's the same sort of process. With self-employed borrowers, we're going to look at their 1099 and we're going to look at the consistency of their income. So typically we're looking for the average of their income over the past 2 years. So we would look at tax returns, corporate tax returns, 1099s, just to make sure that it's consistent. So you got to have 2 years. That's the key for self-employed borrowers. Whereas if you're W-2 and on a brand new job, you could start that week and qualify with that income if it's guaranteed income. But self-employed need that 2-year history.
So Bart, obviously with all your sort of vast years of experience and being around the mortgage industry for quite some time, if you had a crystal ball to look into and sort of see what that looks like moving forward as we go into 2022 and beyond, what do you sort of see? What do you sort of think are going to be the differences going forward?
Well, obviously the rates are going up right now, and that impacts the buyer's buying power because they can only afford so much. The problem is in the state of Florida is the inventory is low because everybody seems to be moving here, so that drives the prices up. But I actually think it's going to be a good thing that the rates are going up in a way that it's going to kind of stabilize the market, if you will. It's going to drive the sellers to it's going to put a cap on what the prices are going up to. So I think that it's time for a cleansing in the market, and that's headed our way. And things will go on. It's going to be positive. I think Florida market's just going to continue to thrive, and we'll continue closing mortgages, and you'll continue selling homes. And it's all going to be good.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your time today. Thanks for sharing some of your insights about the mortgage industry with folks, and we really appreciate all the work you do.
You're welcome. Thank you, James.